ground, and Borough.
Well, that was absolutely calm.
What else? I actually turn my mic on. Very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to Dozz's Football Stand. It is episode number 11 of a series that, even though it's meant to be every single week, I haven't had time to do it every week, so we just try and catch up as much as we can. But so far, a bit of a decent, quite a long one in series so far. It's gone on longer than Dozz's transfer show probably so far, but not a bad start to this new series. We will be joined at some point by Marske United player Glenn Butterworth. He's not on at the minute. He did say before that he just told us to start at 7 and he'll get on as soon as he can. But sorry about the lateness. I'd actually lost track of time, so that's my fault. I'll hold my hand up and say that was my fault. But welcome if you joined. Get involved in the live chat. Got a lot to get on with and lot to talk about. Scotty B, hello. Hello, famous mum. What's the dinner tonight? What did I have? Chicago Towns, wasn't it? I think it was. Flying out. Well, I mean, it was nice to see you briefly. Joining me tonight, Glenn Butler will be on in a few moments, hopefully. But joining me is a man making his debut on the channel, and that is Jacob Alali.
Hello. I'm pretty sure I've been on one of your Euro streams before, mate, but I could be wrong.
I can't remember. I've slept since then. Right.
I definitely
also,
Liam's. Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely, yeah. Also joining us tonight is our Arsenal, Borough and Marske United fan who has actually been speaking to a lot of big footballers recently, including Liam O'Sullivan. It's Baker Lilivic. How are you, pal?
Very good, Dazza. Thank you for having me on again.
And of course, don't forget, of course, he's had other football celebrities like me. So there you go. What more do you want? What more do you want?
Biggest one.
And also our Brighton expert. I say our Brighton expert. You're only Brighton fan I know at the minute, other than Josh Fusion, which is Garrick. Evening, mate.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, still alive. Well, there you go. Yeah, so as well, that's the best we can get. Tom Stiff, this is one of the Marske United fans, and Leeds fan. Redcar Athletic have the worst fan base in the North East. I can probably think of worse, to be honest with you, but there you go. Open mic.
I was close to say so, but I remember this is YouTube.
Yeah. Open mic podcast. Welcome to the stream, Jack McCabe. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Jack.
Good to see you again. All right, boys. Yep, not too bad. By the way, do check out the Open Mic podcast. He started uploading some more podcasts. I think he took a break from doing them a while ago, and then he's got back to them a bit. So that's good. But we've got a lot to talk about, so I think we'll get straight underway. We won't talk about non-league as such until we have Glenn on, obviously. But we'll start off with the Premier League, because actually all four of us are Premier League fans, aren't we? So we'll start with the Premier League. Got underway this weekend. I mean, for me, and well, ideal start. United beating Leeds 5-1. Arsenal. I won't even go there, to be honest. It was a terrible defeat for you against Brentford.
How can we not?
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
TV fails.
Who is this calling? Right. Tomorrow, the FA Cup.
The mic is still on. You might want to turn it off.
It's against Pickering Town, mate.
TV fails.
As far as I know. Yep. I'd like to know where the hell he's got the phone number from. But there we go.
At least it was just about the match tomorrow and not something really bad and used to that. It's fine.
I don't know who it was, and I don't know how he's even got the number. But oh well, this is what happens when you're live. Red car, have a fan. Yes.
Hello, Willis.
Does Daz go on our list? I'd assume so. Yep. I was at the red car match on Wednesday. Worst 90 minutes of my life.
And clearly you haven't been. And clearly you haven't been to Middlesbrough versus Cardiff in the season after Borough got promoted. I mean, relegated from the Premier League. That was clearly you didn't go to that game.
It was poor, to be honest. Marske boys making all noise. Jack Please. Yeah, it's going to be. It's just going to be all Mask fans and red cards, and we all related, isn't it? Anyways, let's get back on to where we were. Premier League. I can't remember. Did you play Crystal Palace? Was it on Saturday?
No, it wasn't Palace. It was Burnley.
Who was it doing? Oh, Burnley, yeah, and a good result actually for Brighton, wasn't it? It came from 1-0 down, and your Argentinian midfielder Alexis McAllister managed to score the winner. So not too bad starts, but I think Arsenal will pick up. Surely they'll pick up from that. But what are your thoughts of first weekend of the Premier League season? I mean, immediately we've seen a hatful of goals, 5 against Leeds, which I was buzzing about. We've seen 5 goals in the Watford Aston Villa game, and it's been a decent first week, hasn't it, with regards to goals? I think we've already found some of our goals of the season as well. I mean, that John McGinn shot and also Luke Ayling and Greenwood.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts, guys? Who wants to go first?
Hold on, I've just seen something really dumb in the chat. Really? Oh my, Thomas Stiff, seriously? But Millwall fans, I've got so much respect for them lately.
Right. Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm not going to go into that. Right. Anyway,
all I've got to ask is why? You know.
Right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Right. Go ahead.
So, if I'm being honest with you, I expected us to lose. I just think, from an Arsenal perspective, I don't think we've strengthened enough this summer. Obviously, we had Aubameyang and Lacazette both out with COVID, and we just had a really weak inside. And I think Brentford did play really good football. I just didn't have a good feeling going into the game, and I'm just a bit disappointed from an Arsenal perspective. I just don't think we've strengthened enough, and I think it's going to be a long season for us if something doesn't change.
Yeah, that's a fair point, to be honest with you. I mean, I saw the game and Jews were pretty poor. Really were awful all game. Glenn has joined us, by the way. Evening, Glenn.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm left as well. But there you go. The old jokes are back. But yeah, it was a poor performance from Arsenal. But Brentford, I mean, what a fantastic start for them. But I don't think they'll keep it going because I don't think, to be honest with you, yeah, they're beating Arsenal. I don't think they're that good personally. Well, we'll see what happens. It's early days. I don't know where Glenn's disappeared to. Never mind. That's a good start, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Right. Try again. Well, Jacob. I mean, what a great start for us, eh? Beating Leeds 5-1.
Yeah, excellent. Love to see it.
Ideal start.
Of course, yeah. Now we're going to win 9-0 against Southampton.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's inevitable. Come on, they're going to lose 9-0 at some point this season. We just beat Leeds 5-1, and we're going to have Sancho starting. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't take any games for granted, really.
I've seen people say, "Oh, we're going to win 2-1," and be like, "We're going to score less goals against Southampton than we did against Leeds."
Yeah, well, we don't know really.
Maybe if they still had Bertrand and Vestergaard, possibly, but no, not if they don't.
Garrick Brighton, on the other hand, you went 1-0 down against Burnley, and then you turned it around.
Yeah, thankfully. I mean, we had a couple of decisions that I don't know how we didn't get him. There was this tackle from Tarkovsky, I think, very early on in the game. Looked vicious, yellow given, don't know how. I think it should have been red. And then we had the first goal, the one that Burnley scored. It was like Tarkovsky fouled our defender, and we're just like, here we go again. Expected goals, all that things we had.
They are for you.
Yeah.
They are for you. That's what. It's a good job we don't have it in non-league, is it? Glenn, great to speak to you, mate. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the game on Saturday, obviously with Borough being at home. But a great start to the season beat Cleethorpes 2-0. How confident are you going into tomorrow against Pickering?
It was a tricky game. It was the opening game of the season. I think all the lads were excited to get back. I think we were a bit nervous first half. Like I said to Baker on our chat after the game, it wasn't the start we wanted first half. I thought Cleethorpes were the better team. A bit of a wake-up call going into the changing rooms. And then second half, after we had a regroup, I suppose, we came out and, we got the 3 points. It wasn't the prettiest game, but it's 3 points. It was a clean sheet, and that's all we needed. So going into tomorrow's game, we know Pickering haven't had a great start. I know Shildon beat them 4-0 last week, and then they got beat off Pontefract midweek 3-1. So their confidence will be low. Our confidence will be high. But like I say, you can't take anything for granted. But no, the lads are feeling confident. We've had 2 good sessions this week, working on a bit of shape on Thursday and a bit of fitness on Tuesday. So fingers crossed, we have a good day tomorrow. And like I say, we do try and make our home a bit of a fortress. So not many teams come there and turn us over. So fingers crossed we get the win tomorrow in the FA Cup.
I mean, there's not really any teams that have managed to actually get wins against us. I mean, last season was a weird season. It was stop, start all the time. And I don't think I remember seeing a single team win there. I mean, we had a really good run in the FA Cup as well. We beat Blythe Spartans at home. We beat Trafford as well, was one of the teams that we played against. We did very well last season. I'm just hoping we can... I mean, no pressure, but I'm just hoping we can get to that stage again and possibly go that extra mile and possibly get into the first round, which, I mean, I know it's obviously, it's a very difficult task for any team, to be honest with you, because there's so much at stake. And the FA Cup's the most unpredictable competition in England. I mean, we've had big teams like United, City all drop out. We've had smaller teams. I mean, #United was a bit of a ridiculous story. But I think, personally, my opinion, that the team we've got this season compared to the last season, with the additions that we've got in, I think, personally, our team is a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think last year, I think the record showed we were unbeaten in the league. I think the only draw we had was against Ossett at home. And then the only 2 defeats we had, one was off Brackley, 2 leagues above, and it was off Spenny, which I think if you look at those games, you go into those games expected to win. So I think last year, if COVID didn't strike again, we would have been looking really strong, I believe, in the league. Like I say, we've a couple of additions this year, especially with Dale in there, adding a bit of quality as well. We should be up there yet again. Obviously, the leagues have changed a little bit, which gives us a few more derby games, the Shildons, the Stocktons, Heavens. But the winnable games, in my eyes, I don't think we can go in favouring anybody. I think we've got to go in with the best team in the league, and then it's down to how we play, not getting who we're playing against. But it'll be a good season. All lads are confident. So hopefully, like I say, it'll be a very positive end of the season. And if we can get another FA Cup run, imagine Marske and Marine. Imagine the scenes around Marske.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
It's all about the luck of the draw, isn't it? Who you get and just goes your way. But like I say, it's exciting. Fans are back in last Saturday. Hopefully, we'll get good numbers there again tomorrow. And it's back, isn't it? Football's back. Non-league football's back. And we all love it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And speaking of the FA Cup, Jacob, I believe you're travelling to, is it Seaham you're travelling to tomorrow?
Yes, that is correct. Let's see
Seaham Red Star. Tough game, actually, for a team. Well, considering you're going into this, you lost 3-0 in the last game. So
no, we won 3-1.
It's a tough task for you.
No, we won 3-0 against.
You lost 3-0, you said on Wednesday.
No, I said we won 3-0 against. Was it? Oh, the name's gone on my head now.
Is it Sunderland RAC or something?
No. Hold on a second. I'll just look at my YouTube channel.
Oh dear. Doesn't even remember.
Penrith, that's who it was.
Right. Well, I tell you, I don't know about you, Baker, but would you agree with what we've said? Because would you say that the team's stronger than it was before as well?
I totally agree, and I think, Glenn, obviously you'll know, being at the club years, how much the team's transitioned these last couple of seasons. I think I'm confident for a good FA Cup run again, because I think some of the players we've got, the likes of Adam Boyes, Matty Timon, Dale Ops, all good additions. I think the squad is now at a level who can compete with a couple of the teams leagues above us, like we've seen last year, beating Blythe. And like Glenn said, a lot of it does go on the draw, who you get, but hopefully if we're lucky and we get the right teams, I'm confident we can go on another good run.
Yeah, very true. Garrick, I believe there's a non-league team back near you. Why talk?
Yeah, so probably Worthing's my closest for non-league teams, but I'm not like I'm not a huge follower of them. But
do you watch non-league?
I watch some non-league. I go see the old Worthing here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a huge fan of Worthing. But I'm obviously based at Brighton, but I do keep track of what they're doing every so often.
I mean, what I'm going to say next doesn't just evolve in non-league as well, because it's very important, especially in non-league with these lower teams, and especially teams like Pickering as well, who actually don't have much in the way of funds, as far as I've heard. But the fans are back in all the leagues now, which is very, very important for all the teams. But what, as a Brighton fan, Garrick, you know, how excited were you to go back to the grounds?
It was amazing. I mean, after being so long without going to the grounds, I'm sure we were disadvantaged in that sense, because our home record, I think we only won like 1 or 2 games all season at home. It was really poor last season. But once the fans came, we ended up beating City. So that definitely made an impact. But tomorrow we got the first competitive home game under a full crowd. So can't wait for that. But it's definitely going to be just amazing, really. I think, considering we haven't had it for so long.
Yes, it's great to be back, isn't it? I mean, Baker and Glenn will probably both say the same. At Marske, I mean, it's different. I think it's probably different as a player, Glenn, but how important are the fans for a team like Marske, and for you personally, how good is it to see them back?
Oh, it's fantastic to have the fans there. They certainly do make a difference, you know. Even the 450 we had there Saturday, you know they're there. You're looking around the crowd, you see the familiar faces back, and it's a real, you know, community. And it just gives you that extra marginal gain to go out there and perform better. You know, you see the lads singing in the corner, singing the chants, then, you know, you see some of the older faces in the crowd. And then, like I said, at Baker on Saturday, personal level, my son's there, my wife's there. They haven't been to watch me play for a while. And the crowd, it just all adds to it, and it gives you that advantage, you know, rather than playing in front of an empty crowd. It just adds that atmosphere, and it's just magical getting back in there. I can't imagine what it would be like playing in front of like 30,000, you know, like these Premiership players, Championship players. But even playing in front of 450 does make that difference. So it's just great getting them back in.
Yeah, it's true. 450 against Cleethorpes, I think that's one of the highest attendances we've had for a while, actually. But I think it was because of the first competitive game that we've actually had fans, and you know, as a fan, obviously, you know, I enjoy going to the Marske games, you know, and I love non-league. I love non-league more than the professional football because you get a stronger relationship with the players. I mean, I've spoke to you personally. I've spoke to Curtis. I've spoke to Gotti. I've spoke to Kev 1 or 2 times. Jackie. You know, I've spoke to a lot of the players, and there's just a massive bonding. You know, you get a stronger bond with players in non-league. Whereas if you're at a professional game, you know, like the Borough, the Riverside, you're nowhere near the players. You know, you can't communicate. Yeah, you can hear what's going on, but you can't really communicate or give advice as such because they don't pay any attention. Whereas players like you know, you get given advice, not just from Carl, obviously, but from the fans as well. And you and the players all take it on board, which is what I like. It's a good thing about non-league. You get more communication.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree. You know, you feel part of the club. The fans down there.
Joe, as you'll know, Joe in the chat has put, ask Glenn what the chances are of him doing the George Friend jump or the Warnock fist bump in the air after we win on Tuesday.
What was the first one? The George Friend.
So you know when Borough, I don't know if you'd ever watched, if you'd watched the Borough when George Friend was here. Whenever he'd win, he would jump up and do that in front of the south stand.
Right. Okay.
And Warnock just does that in front of the fans. Just goes, yes. No, he just he sort of builds it up a bit and then yes. But it's quite hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a fist if that's what we call it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely do one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll be there tomorrow. So if you want, I can demonstrate it properly. It's difficult when there's only a tiny camera. So
we'll do one together if you want, Daz. We'll do it together.
Yeah, when we beat Pickering, yeah, that would be great. Oh dear. Right, what was the next thing I was going to go on to? I've actually forgotten.
Hold a second, Daryl. Could you do me a quick favour? Could you just put that hater in the chat in a timeout for me, please?
Who?
The guy that's called We Hate Red Car in the chat.
Well, mate, it's my stream, and at the end of the day, you know, if people hate different teams, that's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. As long as I don't have a problem with it, it's fine. I've never been asked to time someone out on my own stream before, so that's a first. Oh dear. What was the next thing I was going to go on to? Yeah, transfers. I mean, I tell you, what a time to not do Daz's transfer show. Goodness me. It's been, I mean, we're coming towards the final, 2 weeks of the transfer window, and it's been the most. I don't know what I'm trying to think of. I'm actually trying to think of a word to actually describe this window. There's a few actually: crazy, bonkers, ridiculous. Could be any of them. But it's been a crazy transfer window. But I'll start by talking about some of the news that actually came through today. God help you, Baker. But Arsenal completed a 25 million signing of Ødegaard, who I don't think he had enough time to really fit into the Premier League last season. But then the most controversial decision, signing Aaron Ramsdale, England's probably 6th choice goalkeeper. Put it this way, right? I think Ryan Catterick would do better than Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah, I think I don't know how to react to this signing because I think they've maybe looked at it from a perspective. He's an England goalkeeper. Can we get a profit in a few years' time? But
he won't start really.
I think there's obviously Leno in the sticks at the minute, who's a £40 million keeper. And I think you're looking at a lot of money to have someone who's just possibly going to sit on the bench when, as well, last summer we sold Martinez for 20 million, who's a very good keeper, who's now at Villa. So I don't know how to react to that one, to be honest. I'm just trying to get my head around the reasons we might have signed him. But yeah, I'm not convinced.
I've just gone on
someone else talking there.
I've just gone and looked up something.
Sorry about
He's kept 10 clean. Aaron Ramsdale's kept 10 clean sheets in 75 Premier League appearances.
Oh, I'm Ramsdale.
Yeah, I've just looked it up just out of curiosity. Just I guess he had a
Oh,
decent stat or something that we
dear.
could use, but nope. Doesn't love the cause there, Baker.
It's a strange one, that.
And
Yeah,
in keeping in mind, Sheffield United had a good defence last season, so you can't say anything about quality of defenders either.
I don't think Sheffield United had a good defence. They got relegated, so there you go.
I meant as in the season before, because of course the season before they went so
right.
solid. So, to be fair, I did make it sound like I meant last.
Yeah.
Actually, I did say last season. But they didn't really sell anyone, did they? In all fairness.
No. I want to ask something to Glenn, by the way. Jacob on, I think it was Wednesday night, had said to me that Marske had signed a player from Redcar. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think you mentioned it was someone. Was it a brother's friend or something? Used to play with Matty.
Oh, right.
Actually, I've gone to speak to my brother now. Hold on, I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, because I was confused. I'm thinking, well, if we signed someone, they haven't tweeted out about it like they did with Dale Hobson.
No, I don't think we've signed anyone. And like I said, the only Matty we've got at the moment is Timon.
Yeah.
So a bit of a confusing one, but let's see if we get a verdict now.
Oh, well, we'll soon find out. Tabik, any transfer news regarding Brighton recently?
Well, whether it's reliable or not, I don't know. But I heard something about
if it's the Sun, then it's not reliable.
I have a name.
From, but I've heard.
Hang on, Jacob.
Jack Williams.
Right.
It's 25 million for Darwin Núñez, apparently agreed deal or something like that. Whether that goes ahead or not, I don't know, but we desperately need a striker. We've been saying this for 4 years and we still haven't got one. So I just got to hope we actually get one, because the last few have either been junk or we just haven't got one. So
Neil Maupin, not a striker.
Neil Maupin is a striker, but he was a bit dodgy last season. That's why we're looking at
especially what happened with Gwen Ducey. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's an awful finisher. Like there was a couple where he missed from about 2 yards out.
Put it this way, I mean, Glenn would probably score more than Neil Maupin. By the way, you're one of the only mass players that I've seen who just hits a ball from 30 yards and it goes in the net.
Yeah,
most of the goals that you've scored have all been from long range. I mean, goodness me.
I don't read score tappings, though. I'd say they call it the butty bullet. The butty bullet. That's
the butty bullet.
He likes to call me that one. Obviously, we've been playing a long time together, so he always says, "Oh, let's get a butty bullet there." So yeah. No, I don't know.
Alliteration.
It just seems all my goals just seem to be from either distance or a screamer, but you take them, don't you? I suppose.
I know you scored. I know you scored a superb goal in one of the FA Cup games, I believe, last season, or was it the FA Trophy?
Was it that free kick? I think he's.
No,
Stockbridge.
yeah, the free kick was a Stockbridge.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
He got goal of the month, that one as well. I was proud of that one.
Yeah.
Hey, goal in the month in the FA Cup's getting him better than getting goal in the month in the Prem. So there you go, I say. We'll go on to the main transfers, which some bonker ones these. Well, Varane and Jadon Sancho to United for 135 mil, which I think that's quite a good deal. Sancho, I just hope does well, and Varane will be a big part of that defence, especially alongside having Maguire, Jacob, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great season now. I think this is 100% the best side we've had for a very long time. It's probably since back from the Fergie days, really. And great transfer window.
Yeah.
I think the last time we had a transfer window like this is probably when we brought in Zlatan and Pogba, and
2017.
Yeah, which I mean, they both done really well. Really, to be fair, I think we should have kept Zlatan on contracts really because he got injured halfway through that season, but he was doing. If he'd not got injured by how he was doing that half the season, Mo Salah would not hold a record right now for the most goals scored in the Premier League season. By the way he was going in the Premier League until he got injured, he would have. Because I think it was about 15 goals or something like that. Or if
he certainly scored a few.
Yeah, he scored tons. So he probably, I think the way he was going on, he would have beaten Salah's record. Would not be outstanding.
Yeah,
it would never have happened.
Oh my God! Apparently, United want an Mbappe. Good luck. Right, I'll not go on to that. Apparently, so this I don't understand. 100 million for Jack Grealish. Now I know he's a Premier League player. That might be why the price is high. I wouldn't pay anything more than 60 million. I think it's a ridiculous transfer. And then City are looking at Harry Kane, 250 million for two. I mean, I can understand the English and Premier League players, it's high, but money in football, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I just think football's all about money now, all about businesses.
100%.
They say football without fans is nothing, but nowadays, these clubs care more about money, especially the big six sides.
Can I actually just say something here? This has just came to me. There's actually one team that is in the Premier League right now that I think could say maybe I don't care so much about money, and that is Brentford, because when the fans were allowed back last season, because it was their first game at the new stadium, they let all long-term season ticket holders get a ticket for free and their families because it was the first game at the new stadium where fans were allowed back. So they gave back to the fans.
Well, that's fair play to them, not.
And it probably probably had like over 200 fans that gave tickets to, and that's a good amount of money. That is that didn't get in. It's like, that's clubs you can say don't care so much about the money as the rest, because no other club would probably do that.
You see, it only seems to be all these massive clubs that care more about money. You get these non-league clubs, Marske, for example, and this is what I like. Clubs like Marske, clubs like Redcar Athletic, Redcar Town, etc. I mean, look how much money the clubs, including Gisborne as well, got from that pre-season trophy. This is what I like. You get these non-league clubs arranging different things, trying to get, trying to get some money, trying to get the fans back in the games as well. But the clubs like Marske, etc., we don't care. We don't care about how much money we have. We use the money that we do actually have. We use it wisely, and all the money comes from the fans turning up. So it's vitally important, isn't it, that the fans, have a part to play. But it's the thing with non-league. I wish non-league, I wish Premier League, was the same as non-league, where clubs just don't have to worry about how much money they got, all that jazz. I mean, money's important. Don't get me wrong, but when you get these big clubs that just say, "No, football's all money." Football in non-league is all about the fans. It's nothing to do with money at all.
I think it's proven by what happened during the pandemic with that Premier League clubs, probably Championship clubs as well, can live without the fans. If they had no one attending their games, then they could probably still play games week in, week out. But these non-league clubs were suffering in trouble because the fans weren't there. But it didn't really matter in the Premier League because they could play games behind closed doors. But in non-league, they couldn't do it. They just had to cancel games.
Yeah, it's a bit different. I mean, it's difficult, especially when you got clubs like Marske don't have much money. But we don't care too much about how much money we got. We could be millionaires for all we know, and we just use the money wisely. You get all these big clubs just spending over 100 odd million for one player. It's ridiculous, really. I mean, by the way, did you go to Marske? How much was it for Marske to get you when you signed? Probably not that much because non-league's different.
Yeah, well, I've been at Marske, I think 8 or 9 years, and I don't think they paid anything for me. I think back when I came across to Marske, I wasn't on a contract. Previous club was Billingham Town. I was playing Billingham Town, and then Marske wanted me, and it was just a case of agreeing. weekly wage and whatnot, and then I was there. I don't think contracts were a thing back then. You were a non-contracted player, and so that meant went on a free. But I think nowadays, a lot of the Mask lads will be are on contract. So then, obviously, if a club did come in, Mask would then say, I want X amount of pounds for his signature, if you like. But back when it was a free transfer, if you like.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Baker, I mean, I think you're the only one who hasn't spoke about it yet, but football is all about money, isn't it? It's a bit shocking. I mean, I'm still surprised that, I still don't understand how, me and Jake are both United fans, you're still North fan after all this Super League lark. But we're not going to go into that because I don't want to talk about that, frankly. But it's all money, isn't it, these days? It's all wrong. It is all wrong.
I think, although from what I hear, people always claim Man City as the worst defenders. Yes, there might be, but I think every club in that top six is based around money. Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. I think all of them do spend the amounts of money that we are talking about. So I think they're all offenders for it, if you know what I mean.
That's true. One of the main transfers that I want to talk about, if I can remember which one. Yeah, the big one, Messi. I mean, I'm surprised that he's left Barcelona, but I think at the time, Barcelona were peer pressured into letting him go because one, they were in a lot of debt, and two, the La Liga, I believe, were the ones that sort of forced him to leave. But I think that's wrong. If you spent like 19 years, he spent how many years at Barcelona? He loved that club. You shouldn't be, a club of Barcelona's caliber should not be getting pushed into making a decision that they don't want to make. But I think it's wrong. And, fair play to Messi. I mean, PSG are now going to be they're going to be one of the best teams in Europe this season. I mean, put it this way, if I'm any team in the Champions League, I wouldn't be wanting to come up against them. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, who else they got? Ramos just signed as well. They've still got Verratti. Paredes was superb last season. They've got a fantastic squad. Donnarumma as well, yes.
Yes, Donnarumma, not
fantastic.
Donnarumma.
What were you guys' initial reactions?
Wijnaldum as well, sorry, yeah. Wijnaldum.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
I forgot you know. Yeah, as well, didn't he? Well, what were your initial reactions when you saw the transfer? Personally, I wasn't shocked because I think it was going to be happening anyway at some point, but I didn't expect him to go to PSG.
For me,
Kanji as well. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
sorry, I'm just thinking I'm ahead of everyone now. Sorry, go on.
for me, I think he was destined for PSG. I think Premiership. I would love to see him in the Premiership, but I just don't think any teams would have attracted him over there. He's got his Neymar link to PSG, and I think I've been looking at the social media and stuff and reading a few articles, and the PSG social media's gone from like 10 million followers to 70 million followers. That's the Messi effect. I think
that's all the Messi fans.
Yeah, it's the best bit of business PSG could have done. Shirt sales are through the roof. I saw something today. Yeah. I think it was the highlights from PSG's first game where they won 4-1, and whoever's in charge of their social media on YouTube.
4-2, I think it was.
Well, it was 4-2,
wasn't it?
Picture of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe all celebrating. Obviously, Messi didn't play, but I think because Messi was on that pitch, it said it had some 18 million views within a day. Thought Messi was playing. For PSG, it's just gonna, they'll get their money back in shirt sales and everything else to sell. So a bit of a strange one. It'd be good. I mean, they should walk that league anyway.
Yeah.
But
last year.
Yeah. Well, I know exactly. Yeah, they didn't last year, but it'll be interesting to see what they do in Europe. That's what I'm looking forward to. See how PSG compete against City, Juventus, the Real Madrids, the Liverpools in there. So that will be very exciting to see what they're like against our top teams. No, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's just a shame we couldn't get him in the Premiership and go and watch him in around England. I suppose is the only downfall for us living in England. But never mind.
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting transfer, and yeah, I mean 10 million straight to 70 million. That is a bit of a rise, isn't it? But one thing I realised as well is they've got the two best La Liga captains actually. PSG Ramos was captain of Real Madrid, Messi was captain of Barcelona. Who else are they going to get now? Wasn't Donnarumma captain at AC Milan, or was that Simon Kjaer? I can't quite remember, but they've got a fantastic team, and as you said, certainly one of the ones to watch out for. Gavik, what were your initial reactions?
I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. I think we were saying a couple of weeks ago when I was on the stream, we were all agreeing it was almost certain he was going to PSG. So I wasn't surprised at that, but I was surprised that Barcelona couldn't keep him up. Keep him in the squad. That's what I was shocked at, but just not him. You see, we're all expecting it. But they're the only team that can probably afford his contract, and they're the team that is probably going to want to go to for those reasons, but also to play with Neymar again and all the other players that he had at Barcelona.
Yeah, the Neymar link as well. I have to laugh though. Apparently Sergio Aguero, right? He went to Barcelona to play with Messi, and apparently he wants to leave now. They're in all sorts of mess now, aren't they?
Yeah, I bet it'll be gone by January, or try to move in January.
Apparently, I read somewhere, I don't know how true it was, that Aguero's agent was looking, not his agent, his solicitor was looking into the contract that he signed to see if there's anything he could use to get out of his contract. I think that's how desperate he was to move on. So I think you're right. I think, January, especially or next summer, he'll want to move, won't he? I don't think he wants to be there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, true. Baker? I know you have to disappear in a few minutes, actually.
I think, to be honest, if I was Aguero, I'd still be proud to play for Barcelona with the legacy they have as a club. And I just find, although he really wanted to play with Messi, he hasn't played for him for the last 10 years at Man City. And he's probably not going to get the move to PSG to play with Messi. So I'm not too sure what to make, because he's just going to go somewhere where Messi won't be. So I don't really know what to make of that one. But
about that. Right. Jacob, any thoughts?
I think I can't say. I don't think, it's amazing. It's weird to think that now he's gone. He's no longer at Barcelona. We've obviously known the famous trio of MSN, and now it's all gone. Messi, Suarez, and have all left, and it's
MSN. Oh. I was just wondering what you want about MSN. I'm thinking, who?
Known as.
Oh, yeah.
Were known as.
Yeah. Neymar, Suarez, Messi. I totally forgot about that, to be honest.
That's
I'm
Messi,
waiting for
Suarez,
PSG
Neymar.
to try and get Neymar to get Suarez now, so that would be interesting.
I think they want Ronaldo. I remember last year hearing Ronaldo called Messi trying to convince him to go to Juventus.
I mean, could you imagine Messi and Ronaldo in the same team? Oh my!
If PSG, they still wouldn't win the Champions League.
I bet they still won't, actually. Just something. I mean, you probably already know this. I don't actually think this is correct. Actually, according to Wikipedia, Messi was at Barcelona for 17 years and only scored 474 goals. I'm pretty certain he scored 600.
Yes, he did. I answered a poll on this the other day.
He scored over 600, didn't he?
Yes.
I don't know where they got
Suarez
that from.
scored around about what they've said.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty certain he'd scored over 600 goals, so I don't know where Wikipedia's got that from. If you go into the Marske game, by the way, the lads, I don't know what the lads are planning for Tuesday. It's going to be colour on Tuesday, but I'll just be my usual mask shirt and probably bring the scarf. I'll be looking forward to the game, by the way. It's meant to pay down throughout the match, so you might get a bit wet on the pitch.
That's what's meant to happen tomorrow at my game. That's in Steam, apparently.
Nah, this is a mask, but I'm looking forward to it. Baker, it's 1:45 if you need to head off now.
Right, I've enjoyed it. That's it. Having me on again.
No worries. Cheers.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow,
tomorrow, Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, take care.
Right.
Okay. And then number 4.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. And then number 4. Yes. So, so we talked a bit about Messi there. I don't know how long this show's going to be going on for. I'm planning on it being till 8 o'clock. But I'll say that might change. I know a lot of people will probably head off at some point because I'm aware. But I thought the game between Bristol City and Swansea was at 8 o'clock. It's actually already kicked off. So that's my fault. But I mean, I'd rather watch paint dry, to be honest with you. Another transfer I was going to talk about was, if I can get the thumbnail, I can't actually remember which one it was now. This is well organised. You always get this. A controversial one. Harry Kane to Manchester City. And now I can probably understand why he's gone to City. Possibly, obviously Spurs ain't going to win a trophy anytime soon. He's wanting to go for trophies, probably the same as Jack Grealish. But because he's so important to this Tottenham Hotspur's lineup, Tottenham are wanting 150 million. Now, I can understand why, they want that much money because he's such an important part. But not in a million years do I think he's worth 150 million. I mean, look at it. If Erling Haaland was going to leave Borussia Dortmund, they probably want 150 to 170 mil. And he's good in the Bundesliga. In the Premier League, he probably wouldn't be any good at all. But it's different with Harry Kane, though, because Harry Kane's got that Premier League experience that you need. Yeah, he hasn't won trophies and he's bottled finals with Spurs. That's no surprise because Spurs are bottle jobs. But there you go. If he goes to City, I mean, it'd be a fantastic signing for City and it'd be a great move for Kane. But I think the price is ridiculous. Yeah,
I mean, I can see why Spurs want to keep him. They're doing their best, but apparently there was an agreement that Kane would be allowed to leave the club. But whether that is true or not, I don't know. Well, do any of us really? But if they end up as scabbies, I don't think. How can City afford it? 250 million in one window when they've spent.
Well, they've got oil money, haven't they?
They've spent billions of pounds already, and they've already been done for financial fair play or whatever it is. So I don't know how they can continue.
Got away with it in the end.
Yeah, well, that was expected, really. We just knew that would happen. What do you expect? Yeah,
put it this way. I mean, you got teams like Man City. I mean, that would probably be their record signing, 150 million. You've got clubs like Borough. I think 15 million for a Samba was probably the most we'd spent.
Yes,
you got clubs low in the leagues who are spending less than that, and then you got these big teams. I know they've got a lot of money, but you don't need to be paying 100 million for one player.
Celtics,
never mind 250 million for two. It's a bit ridiculous. I mean, look at Celtic. They got that Japanese player, Furuhashi, whatever his name is, for cheap. And why did the big company need to spend so much money? I mean, why do you need to put such high targets? I've never understood it. Celtics, whether you're an important player or not, I just don't see the reason.
Celtic's all-time record goal signing is actually Oddison Edwards for £9 million, and they've got such a good club and a big history. Yet they've only spent £9 million on their most expensive ever signing. It was obviously proved that to be a very good signing for quite a cheap fee again.
It's all about using the money wisely. All about using the money wisely, which is something that Marske do. Just a shame Man City don't tend to half the time.
Thing is with this lad, we're from
But,
that Celtic have signed a Japanese lad. He's just been a hidden talent. No one really knew much about him until he joined Celtic, and I've never heard of him. I actually saw when he was 26. I've been hearing so much hype about him. I thought he'd be his teams. He's 26.
I mean, I knew nothing about Marske when I first went to a Marske game, and now ever since I've been going to the games, I've learned more and more and more. And I mean, Dale, for instance, I knew nothing about him, didn't know where he came from, and didn't know what leagues he'd been playing, and didn't know anything about him. Another hidden talent comes in on fine form in pre-season and can probably take it into the rest of the league. Curtis, first time I saw him, again, I mean, same with not just Curtis, but you as well, and the entire team. Saw this team. I'd seen a couple of games before online, and obviously Joe, when he actually did the vlogs, which he stops now, I was thinking they don't actually look like a bad side. And then when I saw his first game was that 2-2 draw against Pontefract, I believe it was, and I enjoyed it. Because there was a difference between, there was a massive difference between the championship games and non-league games. And I immediately thought, I'm thinking, these look like a pretty good side. So, and then since then, the team's improved. And I mean, Dale's a fantastic player, don't get me wrong, but is he going to continue that form into the rest of the season? Because it's a difficult campaign we've got. Actually, I know a lot of. I know our target is to win the league, but it's not as easy as it seems.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think we realised that on Saturday. Each game's going to be a tricky one because the league we play at the moment, it's very physical. Very fit teams, and there's no sort of easy game, if you like. Every game you've got to be on your top performance, or you don't get results. And I think, it will be a long campaign, like you mentioned, and we will rely on all the lads, not just the starting 11. And rely on the 15, 16 lads we've got, and hopefully we'll avoid any major injuries and keep the squad as strong as we can. But like I say, it is a long campaign, very tricky one. But we should have enough to be up there at the end of the season, I'd like to think. So just need to keep focusing on ourselves and keep pushing on. Yeah,
true. Jacobs, anything you want to add? Because I'm actually going to wrap up the stream in a few minutes. So, is there any final things that any of you want to say?
There's actually something I wanted to say about Everton.
Yeah, they're the toughies.
This stuff with everything that's going on with James Benitez not wanting to use James Rodriguez this side. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that earlier on, actually. I thought it was strange because he's a good player. I mean, put it this way, I think Gylfi Sigurdsson is way better, but I mean, I don't know what's going on with him at the minute, so we ain't saying anything about him at the minute. No, football-wise, it was good. I mean, I did forget what had been going on for a minute there. But no, James is a very good player, and I think he was one of their big signings, actually. So, for a signing to go to waste is a bit disappointing. And where's he going to go next is the question. I mean, is there anyone in the Premier League that will be wanting to buy him, or Real Madrid might want to buy him back? I don't know.
He'd be a great signing for anyone. I think people look at the season he had last season wasn't exactly amazing, but people forget he barely played the last year before joining Everton because of the stuff with Zidane.
Yeah.
For someone that barely played in such a little amount of playing, so long, James Rodriguez played really well at the start of the season, and that shows his class. Because he's had such little time in so long, and to play like the way he did at the start of the season, that shows he's world class.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed with a lot of the players is a lot of the teams tend to play better when there's fans in the stadium, and not just the teams, but there's players in general. I mean, I think personally, I I mean, personally, our lads, I think, Glenn, we play much better when there's fans
Absolutely.
there. You get a massive boost of energy from the fans. Fair, it just feels like there's nothing, I mean, we were at Warrington and yeah, we played well, but I feel we played better when there's fans.
It's the same with any sport, really. If you look at any sport, fans are always important. You look at the darts, for example. Commentators were always saying during it that players were always saying how much they would have loved to have the fans at the Alexandra Palace, because it's obviously it's great. Always there's a great atmosphere there, and it's always cheers the fans on. Even going Price, he has said before that if the booze that he gets makes him want to do better, because he obviously wants to shut them out, of course, as you would. You'd want to shut the haters out, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, obviously. Right. We'll probably wrap it up here, though. Any final things that Garrick or Glenn, either of you want to mention?
I think we've covered the majority stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what Glenn has got to say, but yeah.
No, I think we've got there. Obviously, a lot about non-league from myself, and I think you guys have really, during every football really well. So, just like to thank you for inviting me on the show, Dazza.
No problem.
It's good to speak to the other lads as well on the stream. So nice to meet you both.
Yep. Oh, he's off. Yeah. Well, no, it's been a pleasure. It's always good to have one of the players on. I mean, I think you're like the sixth Marske player I've had actually on the streams. So
I disconnected there. I don't know what happened.
Right. Okay, that's nice. But no, it's always nice to talk about non-league, because there's always a difference between non-league and Premier League. You have less fans, but there's a bigger bonding, and a lot of the teams. I think a lot of the teams, especially the lower teams, play better when there's fans there, because it's always important. But no, thank you guys for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll chat to each other very, very soon. Glenn, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hopefully we can get a win. Yeah, bear me a second. Hopefully we can get another win under the belt, and hopefully progress to the preliminary round. Is the draw on Sunday?
I think it normally is on the Sunday.
Normally is, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's a replay. So obviously, if it is a draw after 90 minutes, I think it goes. I think
that might actually be wrong. I think that might be wrong, Glenn, because my team, Redcroft Lake, we had a game cancelled last Wednesday because our opponents had a game in the FA, a replay in the FA Cup. So it might. I don't think that's quite right.
I thought they were.
That's strange, because
it might be wrong.
There was no replay.
The game might have been postponed, I think, originally, so that could be a thing. But that's what I've been told why it was called off.
You might be right. I just know there was rumours out there that if the FA Cup games did end in a tie, then it would be done on the day.
That's what it was last season.
Yeah. Wrong, I might be wrong. Might end up in a replay. Who knows? But
if you think that might have been last season, that might have been because of COVID.
Well, no, it was. Right. It wasn't just last season. It was the case the season before as well.
All right, okay.
Recent times have scrapped. They've been scrapping the replays because it's too much. It's too much for a lot of the teams, especially if Mass come up against. I mean, it's not far from Pickering, but we come up against a team that are like. If we get a team that's, I don't know, about probably 2-3 hours away, it's difficult to. It's difficult for teams to travel that far, all the time, because it's a lot of money as well to do that. So, I think it's a good idea to took out the replays, but as I say, we'll soon find out. I don't think we'll have to worry about going to penalties, because I think we've got a much better squad than Pickering, personally.
That team I was talking about might have had their game might have been postponed for something or whatever reason, possibly.
Probably COVID.
It must be something like that, because they wouldn't just schedule 2 matches on the same on the same midweek, would they? Obviously.
Well, no, it wouldn't make sense, would it? But there you go. Anyways, Garrick, thanks for coming on, mate, as usual. Hopefully we'll speak to each other soon. Jacob, thanks for making your first appearance on the channel. And Glenn, been a pleasure, mate.
Thanks.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, thank you everyone for watching us. Thanks to everyone who's been watching tonight, and we'll speak to
Actually, I
you
want to say
soon.
quickly
Ta-ta.
to that hater in the
Oh,
chat,
sorry.
go. You just shut your mouth to that hater in the chat.
Yeah, it's Mask fans, mate. I know.
Oh, it's probably
Anyways.
just someone that just likes to annoy me. That's probably who it is. I bet you it's Joe Willis on another account. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right, okay. Okay, take care, guys. We'll speak to you all